Such a chubby kitty. Where's your sister? Oh, there she is. She thinks she's hidden. Oh, now she's gone. Welcome everyone to my channel. Glad to have you here. Still have no idea what I'm doing, but then again, I don't ever really. First things first, just want to say viewer discretion advised a little. Got like a partially nude character as a focus, but it's not that bad, so I wouldn't worry too much. Anyway, this drawing just started out as a simple anatomy study and somehow became a full-blown illustration along the way. I had a lot of fun doing this. Turned out surprisingly well, I think. My OC, Kaylin, who's the main focus, I decided to do a back shot, try to figure out how the back muscles worked out and stuff like that. It was actually pretty fun, and I learned a lot. Although finding what's the word? It's escaping my mind. Finding references was a little difficult, but I managed. I just had to Google a bunch of images and look on Pinterest and use create some of my own references using myself. But yeah, it turned out pretty well actually. I learned a lot. I experimented, especially with the shading, which you might notice later. I decided to use a watercolor brush instead of going for cell shading. So the shading turned out a lot softer, which I really liked. I've been trying to figure out how people did that for a while now, and I think this turned out pretty well. I think I achieved the look that I really wanted, but I definitely have a long way to go, that's for sure. But this was definitely a big step. I'm definitely happy with how it turned out. So yeah, I decided to do, I'm repeating myself a lot, aren't I? Sorry. I did tongue-tied. But so yeah, it started out with my OC Kaylin, and then here you can see me starting to put in my other OC's faces, and I decided to show how they'd react to seeing this. I'm drawing my OC Hebe right now. She would be madly in love with what she saw. Then at the bottom there's Cadmir, who's covering his eyes and Oriana's eyes as well, because he's just mad embarrassed by that. And then Oriana is just like a kid. She's pretty much 10 or 11 years old. I don't know how old yet, I haven't decided, but she's young. She's definitely young, so she shouldn't be seeing this. And then up top I drew Umi, and she's just confused because she can do it even better than Kaylin can, but I decided to go with a male figure this time. Umi is definitely buffer though, and stronger, I'd say. And then Noah, he would be like, ooh, he does, canonically in my story, Kaylin and Noah do like each other. So Noah seeing this he'd be really interested and a little flustered, I'd say. So yeah, you can see me starting to do some line work or clean up my sketch a little with it in purple. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the moment. In a few minutes, you'll see me start to do some line art. I also decided to do their reactions in a chibi style because I thought that'd be cuter. And also, I just love doing my OCs in chibi styles for some reason. They always turn out really cute, I think. I really liked how Noah turned out this time. I love how I did the eyes so much. It looks so cute. Oh, here goes line art. I love doing line art, really. I don't know why. Most people say that they don't like it, but I really like doing line art for some reason. I find it, I don't know, like therapeutic, I guess. Soothing. I don't really have to think when I do it. It's just like, yeah, this looks good. I can trace this. Although I think that my style is evolving at the moment a little. I think in the future I want to try doing a more painterly style, at least with the hair, because the way I do hair now, it doesn't look very good to me. So I want to try doing a more painterly style, and that might look better, I think. But who knows? It's something I'll have to experiment with later. So you can see I'm starting to line Hebe now, and also on Caitlin. I don't think I've done it yet, but in the future of this video, you'll see me adjust his leg. It kind of, to me, it looked like it stood out too much, so I straightened it a little more. I think the outcome of that looks a lot better. So now I'm starting to line Umi. I've already done Noah. Jeez, there's a dove right outside my window. It's cooing so loud. I think this was a fun. Sorry, a train just went by, so I just had to pause for a second, or else it wouldn't turn out that great. But yeah, I'm almost done with the line art here, and then after that, I'll start doing the flat colors. You know what really helps with this? With the anatomy study, though, is being able to reference yourself, because finding references for the exact pose that you want is more than a little hard. It's pretty hard. So being able to reference yourself really helps a lot, and it also helps that I have a similar body to the one that is in the drawing. I like to work out, so that helps. That helps, obviously, especially with being able to determine where the muscles are which one is which and stuff like that. And just in general, it's healthy, obviously. You wanna be healthy. But in terms of art, this helps a lot, I think. I managed to pick out some problems that I did in the sketch earlier by referencing myself. You can see me starting to lay down the flats, and in a few seconds I think I will adjust that leg that I mentioned earlier. Also, so I know my OC right here in this drawing looks pretty buff. I don't think he's going to be that buff in the story that I'm working on, but it's whatever. It's just a study. That's how it turned out. So you can see me doing some cell shading right here. This was before I decided to switch to using a watercolor brush for the shading and get a softer look. I liked how this turned out, but I also liked how the experimentation turned out as well. I think I just switched the leg, or adjusted the leg a little. So besides switching to a watercolor brush, I also switched to a different color for shading. I think that also helped give it a more realistic look, I guess you could say. So pretty much like right here, I'm experimenting with using a watercolor brush, and I'm absolutely loving how it looks at this point. So I end up getting rid of the cell shading that I had done before. And I think this was a good time for me to experiment with using a watercolor brush, because I only had to work with one color at the time, because I was working on it for the skin, and the whole image is pretty much just his skin, so I got to experiment there. Here you can see me trying to use a different color for the hair as shading, because the skin tone doesn't work well for the hair. And here's me trying to figure out how to do highlights on his hair. It's hard because his hair does not make sense at all. So that's the main reason I want to try doing a more painterly style for his hair. I think it'll make more sense if I do it that way, because really the highlights do not make any sense. Oh, also right here, I don't know if you saw that or not, but I did add a layer on top of the line art and clip it to that to give it a more softer feeling, and I think that really looks nice too. I erased it around like the darker parts and where it didn't look as good, like his hair, Kaylin's hair, and some of the other characters' hair, because I used like a dark red and it just clashed with some of the colors. Yeah, we're nearing the end here. I'm really loving how his body turned out. It was really fun. It's a really fun experience, and I learned a lot. And hopefully later on, when I do more drawings, I can apply this method of shading, because I really liked how it turned out, and it honestly wasn't that big a difference compared to what I was doing before. So it was a pretty streamlined process. and now I'm just adding on the finishing touches and stuff like that. So I guess I'll end here. So thanks for watching. There are links to my Artfol and Buy Me a Coffee down below. If you want to support me, you can donate or buy something from there. I don't have much on my Buy Me a Coffee shop yet, but I'm hoping to add some more soon. Obviously, like everyone else says, like, comment, subscribe. It helps. Other than that, have a good day and a cookie, because you deserve both. And stay high.